Every morning we wake up with the same 24 hours. It doesn't matter if you're rich or poor, young or old, time is the great equalizer. Yet some people accomplish great things while others waste years chasing meaningless pursuits. Why is that? Time is one of the most precious gifts given to us, yet it is often the most overlooked and wasted resource. Time is something we can never get back once it is gone. Each day we are given 24 hours, 1,440 minutes, 8,640 seconds, and every single one of them matters. How we use our time determines the course of our lives, the impact we have on others, and ultimately the legacy we leave behind. The true value of time becomes clear when we realize its fleeting nature. We often assume that we have plenty of time left, time to achieve our goals, repair broken relationships, or draw closer to God. But the truth is, none of us know how much time we actually have. Life is fragile, and every moment that passes is a moment we will never relive. Those who have reached the later years of life often look back with either gratitude or regret. They either see a life well spent or a life filled with wasted opportunities. Understanding the value of time now can save us from deep regret in the future. One of the greatest dangers in life is the assumption that time is unlimited. People push important decisions aside, delay obedience, and waste countless hours on meaningless distractions. They spend hours scrolling through social media, watching television, or engaging in activities that add nothing of real significance to their lives. Meanwhile, their purpose remains unfulfilled, their relationships suffer, and their potential is left untapped. The enemy does not have to destroy us. He only needs to keep us distracted long enough for our time to slip away. Every second of our lives is an investment in something. Some invest in things that matter, developing their faith, building strong relationships, pursuing their God-given purpose. Others invest their time in temporary pleasures that do not bring true fulfillment. The difference between a life well lived and a life wasted is found in how a person chooses to invest their time. Those who understand its value live intentionally. They set their hearts on things that have eternal significance rather than chasing fleeting rewards. God has given each of us a purpose, and time is the vehicle through which we fulfill that purpose. When we use our time wisely, seeking wisdom, helping others, and growing spiritually, we align ourselves with God's plan. But when we squander it, we fall into a cycle of wasted potential. Every great accomplishment, every life transformed, every act of kindness begins with a decision to use time effectively. Those who change the world do not have more time than the rest of us. They have simply chosen to value their time and use it wisely. At the end of our lives, we will look back and either rejoice in the time we used well or mourn the time we let slip through our fingers. Understanding the value of time is not just about productivity, it is about purpose, fulfillment, and honoring the life we have been given. Every person on this earth has a purpose, something meaningful that God has placed within them to accomplish. Yet far too often, that purpose remains unfulfilled, not because of a lack of ability or opportunity, but because of procrastination. Procrastination is one of the most subtle yet destructive forces in a person's life. It does not come with loud warnings or flashing lights. Instead, it whispers, "You have more time, you can do it later," or "You're not ready yet." Before we realize it, days turn into months, months turn into years, and the purpose we were meant to walk in remains untouched. Procrastination is a thief. It steals time, opportunities, and blessings. When God calls someone to act, He does not expect them to delay until they feel completely prepared or comfortable. He simply calls them to obey. Throughout history, God has used ordinary people to accomplish extraordinary things, not because they were the most talented or experienced, but because they were willing to say yes when He called. Many people fail to step into their calling because they are waiting for the perfect moment. When life settles down, when they feel more qualified, or when fear no longer exists. But the truth is, the perfect moment will never come. There will always be distractions, obstacles, and reasons to wait. Those who fulfill their purpose are the ones who decide to push past hesitation and act in faith. Procrastination is often fueled by fear, the fear of failure, the fear of rejection, or even the fear of success. People put off stepping into their calling because they worry they might not be good enough. They compare themselves to others and convince themselves that someone else is more capable. But when God places a purpose within a person, He also provides the strength, wisdom, and resources to carry it out. The enemy understands the power of a person walking fully in their God-given purpose, so he uses procrastination to keep them stuck in a cycle of hesitation. If he can keep them delaying, he can keep them from making an impact. Time is a gift, and with each passing day, the opportunity to fulfill one's purpose grows shorter. The longer a person waits, the harder it becomes to start. Dreams that were once burning with passion begin to fade, and the vision that once seemed clear starts to blur. But purpose is not meant to be something that remains in the realm of one day. It is meant to be pursued, nurtured, and acted upon. The world is full of people who had great dreams but never acted on them. Some of the most powerful ideas, books, businesses, and ministries never came to life simply because someone kept waiting for the right time. But those who understand that purpose is greater than procrastination refuse to wait. They take steps even when they feel unprepared. They move forward even when fear whispers doubts. They choose to act in faith, trusting that God will guide them as they walk in obedience. Distractions are one of the greatest enemies of purpose. They do not always come in the form of obvious temptations or destructive behaviors. Often they disguise themselves as harmless activities, small compromises, or seemingly urgent tasks that slowly pull a person away from what truly matters. The enemy does not always have to destroy someone to keep them from fulfilling their calling. He only has to keep them distracted. A distracted person is a person who is too preoccupied to recognize the opportunities, the growth, and the divine moments that God is placing before them. In today's world, distractions are everywhere. Social media, entertainment, endless notifications, and the constant demands of life pull people in 1,000. It is easy to justify these distractions, telling ourselves that they are just small breaks or moments of relaxation. But what begins as a short pause can turn into a pattern of avoidance. A few minutes of scrolling can become hours of wasted time. A small excuse can become a habit of procrastination. Before long, valuable time is lost and purpose is put on hold. One of the greatest dangers of distractions is that they make a person feel busy without being productive. Many people fill their days with activities that feel urgent but do not contribute to their calling. They answer every message, check every update, and respond to every demand, yet at the end of the day they realize they have made no real progress toward what truly matters. Life becomes a cycle of reacting rather than living with intention. They confuse activity with achievement, mistaking movement for progress. But being busy does not always mean being effective. Some of the busiest people in the world are the most distracted, constantly moving, yet never truly advancing toward their God-given purpose. Distractions also have the power to dull spiritual awareness. When the mind is constantly occupied with noise, entertainment, or trivial matters, it becomes difficult to hear God's voice. He speaks in stillness, in moments of quiet reflection, in times of prayer and focus. But when a person's attention is scattered, they miss the gentle nudges, the guidance, and the wisdom that God is trying to provide. A distracted heart is easily led astray, chasing after things that do not satisfy and losing sight of what is truly valuable. Our distractions are not just about time, they are about devotion. Whatever captures a person's attention eventually captures their heart. If they are constantly focused on temporary things, their heart will be filled with temporary desires. But if they set their attention on what is eternal, their heart will align with God's purpose. That is why it is so important to guard against distractions. It takes discipline to turn away from meaningless pursuits and focus on what truly matters, but the reward is a life of clarity, purpose, and fulfillment. Those who refuse to be distracted are the ones who make the greatest impact. They are the ones who recognize that their time is too valuable, their calling too important, and their purpose too great to be wasted on things that do not matter.
There is incredible power in the present moment. Too often, people live in either the regrets of the past or the uncertainties of the future, neglecting the only time they truly have: now. The past is unchangeable and the future is uncertain, but the present is where decisions are made, actions are taken, and lives are transformed. The power of now lies in understanding that every opportunity, every calling, and every step of obedience must begin in this moment. Not tomorrow, not someday, but right now. Procrastination is one of the greatest enemies of progress. People delay important decisions, thinking they have plenty of time. They assume that later will always be available, but life does not wait. The more a person puts off what needs to be done today, the harder it becomes to take action. Days turn into weeks, weeks into years, and before they know it, they are looking back, wondering where all the time went. The power of now is recognizing that every moment matters and that delayed action is often the difference between success and stagnation. Excuses are one of the main reasons people fail to seize the present moment. They say they will start when they feel ready, when circumstances improve, when fear subsides. But readiness is not a feeling, it is a decision. The truth is there will never be a perfect time to start. Fear will always whisper doubts, and obstacles will always be present. Those who achieve great things do not wait for ideal conditions. They step out in faith and make the most of the time they have. The power of now is about pushing past hesitation and embracing the moment, no matter how imperfect it may seem. Many people spend their lives waiting for the right opportunity, the right relationship, the right season. But waiting, when it is rooted in fear or indecision, leads to missed opportunities. The greatest accomplishments in history were not made by those who waited for perfect circumstances. They were made by those who acted despite uncertainty. The power of now is found in those who refuse to let hesitation hold them back, those who understand that every great journey begins with a single step taken in the present. Life is full of moments where small choices determine a person's future. A kind word spoken now can restore a broken relationship. A decision made now can set someone on the path to success. An act of obedience now can open the door to blessings beyond imagine. But when people delay, they risk losing opportunities that may never come again. The power of now is about recognizing that today is the most important day because it is the only day in which action can be taken. Time moves forward, whether we use it wisely or waste it. Those who understand the power of now refuse to let distractions, fear, or excuses rob them of the present. They take hold of each moment, knowing that now is the time to act, now is the time to grow, now is the time to fulfill the calling placed on their lives. Time is one of the most valuable resources a person possesses. Unlike money, possessions, or status, time cannot be earned back once it is spent. Every second that passes is gone forever, making it essential to use time wisely. The way a person invests their time determines the course of their life, the impact they have on others, and the fulfillment they experience. Some people treat time as though they have an endless supply, but the truth is that every moment matters. Investing time wisely is not about doing more, it is about doing what truly matters. Many people spend their time on things that have no lasting value. They fill their days with distractions, entertainment, and activities that provide temporary pleasure but leave them empty in the long run. It is easy to get caught up in meaningless busyness, running from one task to another, always feeling busy but never feeling productive. True success is not measured by how many tasks a person completes, but by how much of their time is devoted to things that align with their purpose and values. When time is invested in things that bring growth, wisdom, and purpose, it multiplies in impact. One of the most important ways to invest time wisely is by prioritizing relationships. People often assume they will always have time to spend with family, friends, and loved ones. But time moves quickly, and opportunities to connect can be lost if they are not intentionally pursued. Investing in meaningful relationships brings fulfillment, strengthens bonds, and creates memories that last a lifetime. Time spent encouraging others, listening, and showing love is never wasted. It is an investment that brings returns far greater than material success. Personal growth is another area where wise time investment leads to lasting rewards. Learning new skills, deepening knowledge, and strengthening faith are all ways to use time in a way that produces long-term benefits. The most successful and fulfilled people are those who never stop growing. They read, study, and seek wisdom, understanding that time spent in personal development is an investment that will shape their future. Those who neglect growth often find themselves stuck in the same place, wondering why their lives never improve. Another way to invest time wisely is through serving others. Time spent helping those in need, mentoring, or giving back to the community is never wasted. The impact of a kind act, a word of encouragement, or a helping hand can extend far beyond what a person can see. Investing time in serving others brings deep joy and fulfillment that material things cannot provide. At the end of life, no one wishes they had spent more time on distractions or meaningless pursuits. They look back and cherish the time invested in faith, growth, relationships, and service. Those who understand the value of time do not waste it. They invest it wisely, knowing that every moment is an opportunity to create something meaningful. Life is short, but eternity is forever. Too often, people live as if this world is all there is, chasing after temporary success, wealth, and recognition, while neglecting the things that truly last. An eternal perspective shifts the focus from what is fleeting to what is everlasting. It reminds us that our time on earth is not just about personal achievements or material gain, but about fulfilling a greater purpose that extends beyond this life. Every decision, every action, and every moment should be viewed in light of eternity, because what we do today has lasting consequences. People often get caught up in the urgency of daily life, prioritizing things that will one day fade away. They chase after careers, possessions, and worldly approval, believing that these things will bring fulfillment. But no amount of success or wealth can fill the emptiness of a life lived without meaning. When life is over, all the achievements, bank accounts, and accolades will be left behind. What will remain is the impact a person made, the love they shared, and the legacy they left in the lives of others. With an eternal perspective, choices become clearer. Instead of wasting time on things that do not matter, energy is directed toward things that carry lasting significance. Faith, character, and the way we treat others. Living with eternity in mind also changes how people handle struggles and setbacks. Life is full of challenges, disappointments, and hardships, but when viewed through the lens of eternity, trials take on a different meaning. Instead of being overwhelming obstacles, they become opportunities for growth, refining character, and deepening faith. Temporary suffering cannot compare to the glory of what is to come. Those who have an eternal perspective do not crumble under pressure or give up when difficulties arise. They understand that every challenge is part of a greater plan, one that is working towards something far more significant than what can be seen in the moment. An eternal mindset also impacts how time is spent. If life is just about personal gain, it is easy to waste time on trivial things. But when eternity is considered, time becomes more valuable. Every moment is an opportunity to invest in things that last, to build relationships, to serve others, to grow spiritually, and to leave a legacy that outlives personal accomplishments. When a person understands that their days are numbered and that their actions have eternal consequences, they become intentional about how they live. They prioritize what truly matters and refuse to be distracted by the temporary. At the end of life, what will truly matter is not the things accumulated, the status achieved, or the applause received. What will matter is whether time was spent on things that have eternal value. Those who live with an eternal perspective do not waste their lives chasing after what fades away. Instead, they invest in what will last forever: faith, love, integrity, and the impact they have on others. When life is viewed in light of eternity, every moment becomes an opportunity to live with purpose and leave a lasting impact. Time is a gift that should never be taken for granted. Every moment presents an opportunity to grow, serve, and fulfill the purpose for which we were created. Whether it is by stopping procrastination, eliminating distractions, investing time wisely, or embracing the power of now, how we choose to use our time determines the impact we make in this life and beyond. When we live with an eternal perspective, our focus shifts from temporary pursuits to things that hold lasting value. At the end of our lives, we will not regret the time spent in faith, love, and service, but we may regret the time wasted on meaningless distractions. The call is clear: stop wasting time and start living with purpose today.